Excuse me? Can I ask a couple of questions? Yeah. Well, do you believe in equal rights for men and women? Hello, can I ask a couple of questions? I wonder, do you believe in equal rights for men and women?
Yes, I do, yeah.
And would you call yourself a feminist or not a feminist?
Oh, I'm an equalitist. I think everyone should be equal.
Lovely answer.
One more than the other. Everyone should be the same.
Excellent. I wonder if I can ask you about what you think about the British state condoning the genital mutilation of boys, but not girls.
I think it's awful. I think everyone should be treated the same.
And what about British fathers being discriminated against in family court?
I haven't really given that any thought at all.
What about British men being discriminated against in the criminal justice system, where they get harsher sentences for the same crimes as compared to women?
Well, that's sure not fair.
Certainly not, I quite agree. And finally, how do you feel about feminist activists and organisations who, in response to these injustices that I've just mentioned, they respond by either minimising the significance or even campaigning for further inequality? What would you say about that?
I don't know. I don't think I've got anything to say about that, I'm afraid.
Not an equality movement, or as they practice it.
I think if everyone's treated the same, then you don't need to have any sort of movements. You know, it starts with the laws, I suppose, to make everyone equal.
With the laws on paper and in implementation, critically.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Yeah. She was nice. Excuse me, can I ask whether you believe in equal rights for men and women?
Oh, of course, yeah.
And would you call yourself a feminist or not a feminist?
Yeah, I'd say I'm a feminist, yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask you what you think about the fact that the British state condones the genital mutilation of boys but not girls?
I'm absolutely shocked by it. I was like, we're in the 21st century. What the hell do we think is okay with any of that? Yeah, I was absolutely gobsmacked, shocked by it.
Really good to hear. You're very right to be shocked. Yeah. And what do you think about the fact that British fathers are discriminated against in family courts?
Oh, again, I feel so much for fathers, you know, across the world who are not treated the way they should be as dads. They are so important to children, and if there's a breakdown in family and relationships, then they should be totally given the access to and it's so important for children to have that. And yeah, I feel very much the fathers who are stuck in that place.
And what do you think about the fact that British men are discriminated against in the criminal justice system, where they receive harsher sentences for the same crimes as compared to women?
Oh, again, you just things like this come up, and you just can't believe that those decisions get made. And I question who makes them. Like, where's your thinking in that? Yeah, I feel it's totally and utterly wrong, and yeah, I'm very much against that treatment.
Excellent. And finally, I wonder if you've got any thoughts or opinions on the feminist activists and organisations who, when they see these injustices, respond by either minimising their significance or campaigning for further inequality.
Yeah, that's always the bit that I find really tricky with saying I'm a feminist, because I think sometimes you put yourself in that bracket, and then I don't, but I think women sometimes think that then that gives them a right to think that men should have less equality than you do as a woman, and that's it's always that really grey area that I find myself caught in sometimes, because I totally disagree with that. I think, you know, if you're a feminist, great, stand up for women and making sure that we get equal rights, but that doesn't mean that should come at the cost of men at all. So yeah, I very much kind of disagree with women who kind of come out with that side of things and use it as a way of thinking that's a feminist approach, because I don't think it is at all.
Well, thank you so much for answering our questions. That was fantastic. I totally agree with you. Thank you. Bye. Hi, can I ask if you support equal rights for men and women?
I'm from Germany. I may try if you like to. You, you may. I heard about rights of men and women.
Do you support equal rights, the same rights for men and women?
Of course, I do.
Do you call yourself a feminist?
No, I wouldn't, because everything which adds an ism after it's kind of frightening to me, because it's too radical in a way. So I'm for kind of a consensus in everything we do and everything we talk about when it comes to talking about the future.
That's a good standpoint. Can I ask what you think about the fact that the British state condones circumcision of boys but not of girls?
Okay, if I got you right, okay, so I know circumcision. So did I understand it right? British court?
So the government over here, they will allow baby boys to be circumcised but not girls. Do you think that that's right and fair?
Well, that's a thing based on religion, because Jewish people, it's usual to them. It's kind of their tradition, the circumcision. So maybe it would be better for them to keep that right, that particular right for Jewish people, because it's everything else I think might be a problem, because there's in Germany it's the freedom of religion which has to be preserved, and I think it's a pretty strange thing, female circumcision. I'm absolutely against it, and I know lots of people who are against female circumcision as well. So I hope they're going to develop a good way to keep that course. Yeah.
And I wonder what you think about the fact that British fathers are discriminated against in family courts, so they're denied access to their children.
Wow. Phew. Well, so it's about fathers who got criminal in a way, or?
No, this is after parents separate. Uh, Fathers often find in family court rulings they're denied being the right to see their children.
Well, I don't know. I can only talk from German cases. If dads or moms, it's not important. Whoever, well, if there was domestic violence in a way, so the courts will take away any right for parents to see their children, or part-time, to be a part-time dad or mom. So if there's a good reason for them to decide no, that is not good. It's not a very good, it's not a good parent, and not a good. Yes, that's.
But not based on the fact that they're a man or a woman.
No, of course not. No.
So I wonder what you think about the fact that British men are discriminated against in the criminal justice system, so they receive harsher sentences for the same crimes compared to women.
Is it a fact? Well, no, I don't think that's correct. I don't think that is right, because I mean, why? I mean, if you take, maybe it's a stupid example, but German military, Bundeswehr, there are men welcome and women are welcome as well. So the sex is not it's not a deciding part in the story. So I don't know. It would dig in too much, too deep in some evolutionary background, and that's kind of really a problem. I mean, if a woman beats up her child, and or a man beats up his child, so why should there be any different punishment?
You're absolutely right. And finally, I wonder,
I hope I'm doing
you're doing a
okay
brilliant job. You're doing a brilliant job. I wonder how you feel about feminist activists and organisations who, when they see the kind of injustices that I've just described, they either try to minimise their significance or actually campaign to make the injustice worse.
Oh Jesus, that's a pretty hard question. Because I'm trying to keep myself free and clear from any of these um, problems or discussions, because they are all too often in my home country they get really noisy and very stressy and not very good, and all too often it's only up to no, I'm the one who's permanently correct, and you're wrong. It's too, they're bashing each other, and sorry, I lost it. What?
So you think we need to work together and have meaningful discussions?
Yes, we need to have meaningful discussions with the aiming to we do understand, and we want to understand, and we want to create the future together, and where it's less important to permanently have those awful discussions, but to there needs to be things reached.
So compromise instead of everybody trying to win all the time, trying to work together.
Yes, that was the word I was looking for. I mean, there are too many problems in the world already, and why do we always dig for more problems? There need to be solutions.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Have a lovely day. Yeah.
Where are you from?
Um,
What are you producing?
I am from a political party called Justice for Men and Boys and the Women Who Love Them, and we campaign for men's rights and well-being. So we're just trying to take a sample of, passers-by
Yes.
from around here and find out what they think about feminism and men's issues.
Yes. No, because there are lots and lots of cases of domestic violence against from women against their men, and that's horrible. And of course, there's no right ever to beat each other up. I mean, why? And that has absolutely nothing to do with the sex.
Absolutely agree. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can I ask, do you believe in equal rights for men and women?
Yes, I do. And it's a big issue right now, in this moment.
And do you call yourself a feminist or not a feminist?
Yes, I do.
And I wonder what you think about the fact that the British state condones the genital mutilation of baby boys but not baby girls.
I think it's a huge issue of um, inequality. I think it's segregational, and it makes a big difference between man and women rights. Sorry, my English is a bit.
No, it's perfect. And I wonder what you think about the fact that British fathers are discriminated against in family courts.
Can you?
Yeah. So when British fathers separate, um, they find themselves in family courts and they're often denied meaningful access to their children just because they're men. So have you got any thoughts on that?
I think that this is unfair, but it's because it gives the woman the responsibility of taking care of the children when it should be an equal issue for both men and both women. So I think it's again sexist, and I think that should be over and should be reconstructed, rephrased, or I understand it has been a traditional law, or it's a rule that comes from past, but it has to change right now because we are not that society from 50 years ago.
And I wonder what you think about the fact that British men are discriminated against in the criminal justice system. So they're given harsher sentences for similar crimes compared to women.
Well, I don't know here in England, but in my country we've got a real sexist courts or justice. I don't think men are under have less rights than women. In my country, at least, I'm from Barcelona. You can see some cases of abuses or rapes or so on, and women are always the ones who got the worst part. So I don't know in this country, but in mine, I believe there's much work to do was to be judged as people, not just women who are the ones who have to stay at home and take care of their husbands.
I wonder what you think about feminist activists and organisations who, in response to the injustices that I've just mentioned, try to minimise their significance or even to campaign for more inequality.
I believe they are probably doing a great job. I think all these things are necessary in these times, and I hope this will be the last time feminists will have to grow up, thanks to these women.
Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you.